Now, the rest of the story. Old Rip was born in Eastland, Texas. A while back he was quite a celebrity. His early years were spent as a local exterminator, strictly small time, but then in his early 30s and quite overnight he became a star. One day no one knew he was alive, and the next, because of a solitary accomplishment, he was being cheered by thousands. It was page 1 news in the Eastland Argus-Tribune. In that newspaper's entire history, the attention given to Old Rip has been exceeded only by the coverage of Lindbergh's transatlantic flight. Well, for a dusty, crusty Texan, Old Rip was remarkably comfortable with this sudden acclaim. First he greeted admirers at a local drugstore, but pretty soon it became apparent that he had outgrown his hometown celebrity. Andrew Volstead, a former congressman from Minnesota, was the first nationally prominent politician to suggest that Old Rip, quote, should be heartily commended. Paramount Newsreel Company came to Eastland asking Old Rip to reenact the feat that had made him famous. Many of the 3,000 original eyewitnesses were interviewed. And wouldn't you know it, big money men vied for the privilege of becoming Old Rip's agent. It was a man named Will Woods who won out. In May 1928, after a brief spin around the Southwest, Old Rip set out on a nationwide tour. He traveled on the most luxurious trains and stayed in the finest hotels. Among the prestigious friends he made was President Coolidge himself. Then one January day, far from the applause and the crowds, Old Rip passed away. He died at home. Officially, the cause of death was listed as pneumonia. Well, the national media responded, paused to pay tribute. Poets composed verse in his memory. Back in Eastland, Old Rip lay in state at a prominent funeral parlor, and in the days that followed, a constant stream of visitors paid their respects. At last, and with much pomp and ceremony, Old Rip was entombed in the lobby of the Eastland County Courthouse, and he's there right now. He is not forgotten. And his sole claim to fame, the headline-making accomplishment that sparked a lifetime of adulation, was this. In 1897, Old Rip, still breathing, was buried. And on February 28, 1928, that's 31 years later, Old Rip's tomb was uncovered, and he was discovered alive. So, giving every appearance of having risen from the dead, Old Rip became an instant sensation. His having survived 31 years without air or water or food became an immediate source of scientific controversy. And at this point, there's something else you should know. That Old Rip was buried alive beneath a Bible in the cornerstone of the old Eastland County Courthouse. And when that building was torn down to make room for the new courthouse, and the town was gathered to watch them open the old cornerstone, well, that's when they found Old Rip simply fast asleep. You see, the once anonymous exterminator of Eastland's insect population, the nobody whose resurrection earned him the applause of the president himself, why, Old Rip was a horned toad. Only now, you know the rest of the story.